Hey guys, Joey Young here, and bringing you guys another video on how to set up a planet tank. This is going to be kind of a basic beginner's tips and guides in terms of what you need and what to expect, and really it comes down to planning and setting yourself in terms of a budget, because it can definitely get expensive if you kind of just go and just buy random stuff and without planning. You can run into issues in terms of not getting the right lights, not getting the right equipment for your plants, not getting the right substrate. So I'm going to kind of go and hit some of these categories that I think are pretty important in terms of when you get a planet tank and what to expect and what to look for and what you guys can do or get for each thing. I definitely want to give a shout out to Infamous Aquatics for kind of giving me this idea, and actually he requested a how-to video in terms of to start a planet tank. So shout out to him. Check him out. He's doing some crazy 240 tank right now, so he has his hands full for that one as well. But anyways, so let's kind of get into it, and I'm going to be hitting a couple of these categories in terms of how to start up a planet tank. Alright, so here's the breakdown on the topics that I'm going to cover in this video. It's most likely going to be broken down into two parts, this side and then the other side here, just for ease and not to make the video too crazy long. But let's hit up with the first one, planning. And I think this is really important because, one, you have to decide obviously how big of a tank do you want to start with, the location of where you want to place it. This all comes down to, this plays a big role, I guess, in your planet tank, because it can definitely cost a lot if you buy a big tank. So if you're limited in budget, make sure you plan out, don't go and buy some sort of huge tank, because it's going to cost a lot to actually get that guy going. So definitely make sure you guys plan it out, do the cost up front, lay out, everything. This is how much it's going to cost for rocks, this is how much it's going to cost for substrate, lighting, etc., 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 because everything will add up really quick and really fast. So that covers the first part, and we'll definitely hit up these other ones. So let's go ahead and let's get on to hardscaping. So on to hardscape. Hardscape, there's a lot of materials that you guys can use. So I have just 3 examples here, which generally people use in terms of a planet tank. I do believe that rocks definitely adds a nice contrast and a nice look to a planet tank, but I've also seen a tank where it's just completely plants with substrate, and you kind of scape with the plants, and those are also really nice. So it's totally up to you, but here are just some general ideas and ideas that you guys can use. So the first thing here is just a driftwood. They come in different sizes. Again, this really all depends on the tank size that you're going to be scaping with. Obviously, this is going to be used for a smaller tank, but if you have a bigger tank, you may want to get a couple bigger pieces and a couple small ones to kind of do different sizing. So this one's really nice. This one can kind of lay like this. It can kind of lay on the side. You can even use this pocket here to put plants on like this. So it's really cool, and you can kind of lay it whatever you want. In conjunction, actually, I've seen people use driftwood plus stone, which looks really nice. Just driftwood, just stone, and it's totally up to you. Again, I'm just giving you guys some examples, and here is a pretty cool stone. This is like a lava stone kind of thing. It's called dragon stone. It has a lot of holes in here. Great for basically any plants like Anubias, Java ferns, Bruce philandras, anything that would grab onto this. And this is a smaller piece, but there's bigger pieces. Again, really nice. Here's another popular stone. This is the Siru stone. This is a Japanese stone. Underwater, it's more of a darker gray, and then it generally has You can't see it in this stone, but there's a white contrast lines here and there that really makes the stone unique, and it actually sticks out. And again, if you do a combo with this plus a driftwood, or even like this plus a driftwood, it looks really nice. Or even just by itself, they look really great. And a couple benefits to adding Hardscape is it makes the tank a little bit more natural, and generally in a Planet tank you kind of want to make it natural. So that's what you're kind of going for. So here are some ideas that you guys can definitely go out and do. And the one key thing I want to point out is plan. Make sure you guys plan it out and take your time on your Hardscape. And I'm going to give you kind of an example on this next clip here of what I did. With all those choices you had, I did a quick mock-up and just basically did a Hardscape of what I thought the tank could be or would be. And I just used play sand here as something just quick. This won't be the substrate that I use, but it's something that you can if you do like sand. This is just random, just moss that is bought from just any craft store here. And I kind of laid it out just to simulate, where the plants would be growing at, empty areas, etc. And these are the stones that I decided to go with. And I just kind of laid it out, made some nice paths here and there. And I thought that, this could be the final product. And again, the idea is going to be totally up to you. If you need some inspirations, you can definitely head up online and take a look at a bunch of other people's scapes and whatnot. And the thing is it generally takes a couple times. You may lay it out and you might not like it the next day or even the next hour. So just play with it, and when you find something you do like, that's going to be kind of what you're going to go towards. Alright guys, so the next probably other important part for a Planet tank is going to be your lighting. This is going to be really crucial for your Planet tank. There's a bunch of different things or lights that you can definitely use. Obviously nowadays people are doing LEDs. You can use T5 high outputs, T5s even. Fluorescence has kind of been outdated, like the normal fluorescence. they do or can grow plants, but it's going to be really low tech plants, kind of like Java fern, something that doesn't require much lighting. Can definitely use that. So let me kind of show you what I'm going to be using for this setup. This is the ADA Aqua Sky. Go ahead and turn this on. Wherever the on button is, it's over here. So here is your light. It's LED. I'm sorry for that. Let's just show you guys quickly. That's the LED. This is 7K rated. Obviously the different specs the colors will be a little bit not as white or as white. As you go lower, it's going to be more kind of a yellowish. As you get higher, it's going to be more of a white, and then it's going to start turning blue. So that's where you can start to get to like marine when you get to really high. But anyways, for lighting, again, it's totally up to you. Research, and this really comes down to if you decide to grow baby tears, or just Java fern, something low. And if you do grow something that requires high output light, you'll need something that has high par and really good lighting and spec. For this one, this is I have something similar on my current tank, so I know that this can grow basically anything. It grows baby tears, it grows high light, plants or whatever. So this I know will work for this setup. If you don't know, definitely ask around, look up, research, and see if that LED is going to work with the setup or the plants that you're going to be picking out. Again, if you do have questions, you can definitely leave a comment below and I can try to answer them. But the best thing, to be honest, is Google. You know, you can find basically anything there. But generally, just to give you a couple tips in terms of lighting, when you start a new Planet tank, keep it at 7 hours in terms of for lighting. Any more or any less, you can definitely do, but it's going to be dialed from there. So for example, if you have a pretty, like this one for example, I would probably cut it down to like maybe 6-ish, but I'm going to do a trial and error run around 7. Anything higher, you'll start getting algae. Anything lower, you might not have enough light. So generally I say start at 7, and then if you're not seeing growth, or if you're seeing too much algae, etc., tune it, dial it down from there, or dial it up from there. The second thing that you want to get with a Planet tank is a timer. Hook this light up with a timer. Plants like consistency, so they like to see their lights come on, you know, at 5 and then, you know, shut off exactly whenever, right? So consistency is going to be the key for a Planet tank. So get a timer. It doesn't cost that much, and you know, hook it up, set it 7 hours, and then go from there, guys. So that's a tip in terms of lighting and what to expect. And briefly, I want to talk about, I guess, if you do decide to go high-tech, this setup isn't going to be high-tech. It's going to be kind of lower tech. But if you do go high-tech, consider getting CO2, and considering, you know, getting like a lot of fertilizer, and possibly doing kind of some sort of dosing method like EI dosing.